Hey, this episode is shorter not because the weather got me down. It's been rainy and gloomy in the New York area, but because I'm preparing for a free training I've mentioned recently. If this interests you, how to write and market a best-selling book, Wednesday, November 6th, 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central, 11 a.m. Mountain, 10 a.m. Pacific. You'll see the link in the show notes if you want to join. Okay, so on to my share for this week. Just because the work is quiet doesn't mean it's not important. This really just boils down to a fight we all face: foundational versus frantic. We get so caught up in busyness that we fail to realize the tread on our tires is wearing thin. I typically start year end reviews in November, and as I've already started to look back, 2025 has been pretty wild. Some personal things like a death in the family pushed work timelines down. Some projects got delayed. All of that crunched things together. For me, that looked like this. I launched an AI summit back in August, which was originally planned for June. I rebranded the organization I run with my friend Mary Valloni, including reshooting our course later this week as of this recording. I had a book launch in September with my friend Andy Storch for our book, Own Your Brand, Own Your Career, and a thought leadership assessment I've been working on since May with Maeve Ferguson, due out in November. So to make room, I cut travel for the rest of the year other than my live mastermind in LA, and I let go of a lot of agency clients, about 80% of my agency clients. Now, just like the autumn season here in the Northeast U.S. has a purpose, we have 4 seasons here. It's vital to define the purpose of the season you're in. You define it. You take agency over it. My definition for Q4: depth of execution, not volume of activity. Now, you might be in a different season than me. Good. All I'm saying is that you should define it. Now, one of the loudest sources of frantic energy these days is AI, of course, right? Earlier this week, I was interviewed on the Money Shop podcast, and the host, Bobby Hoyt, asked me what I really think about AI. One point I made is that when we experience the world primarily through a small screen on our devices, the world we experience through those screens can feel really big, but in the wrong way. And I'm not sure about you, but right now my entire feed is filled with AI headlines, and very few, if any, of them are good. They're almost all about how jobs are going to get wiped out, how behind we all are on the latest AI tools, and how the world is going to end. There's a lot of that talk, and this is intentional, of course. This is just the system being what it is. It's part of the attention economy that I talked about back in episode 5, which I titled The Economy of Meaning. And somewhere in all this noise, for me, my humanity is trying to claw its way out. Without realizing it, I've been trying to live more outside of these little screens. Now, growing up and living just outside New York City, I have rarely seen an unbroken view of the sky. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. When I went on safari in Uganda earlier this year, I was stunned by the views of the horizon and the landscape. Not a shopping mall or skyscraper in sight. The sky just went on forever. Now, the real reason I was in Uganda was to see the work of my friend James Harrington and his organization, Ugandan Water Project. And one day we visited several schools that needed clean water systems. When I saw the computers the kids were using to learn from in those schools, they were the kind that I used in high school, like back in the 90s. And that was heartbreaking. I thought about how much AI could help education there if used properly. Now, this is a really striking contrast. Here I am, doom scrolling YouTube about AI apocalypse scenarios, while literally none of the videos I'm shown on my feed are about the potential benefits. I absolutely hate my algorithm sometimes. So yes, put AI in its proper place. The tools are real and they matter, but the hype cycle moves faster than the actual impact on your everyday life. And all that noise will only make you more frantic, which then distracts you from the real work you need to do. Now, I'm going to dive deeper on some of these thoughts at an upcoming summit hosted by Naveed Moazzez, alongside Stu McLaren, Ryan Levesque, and others. You can check out here, and I'll put the link in the show notes. I want to end on this note. Concentration is better than focus. I heard something recently from Regina Sweeney, a client whose website my team just designed. And Regina comes from a Montessori educational background, and she has carried her expertise from that background into working with executives and teams on the principles of concentration. And Regina makes a distinction between focus and concentration that I really like. Focus is tuning out and removing distractions. Concentration is working outwards from within. Now, I may be butchering it, but that's how I heard it. Okay. So go to her website to find out more. So I think that's the journey a lot of us are on right now. Don't be afraid to focus, concentrate, and define the season you are in. It is so noisy out there. And of course, one last reminder, if you're interested in writing a book and want to find out what it's all about, join me for this week's training, mikekim.com/write your book, or you can click on the link that's there in the notes. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean a lot to me if you would hit like. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, to subscribe. And if you would like to get these updates in your inbox, go to mikekim.com/newsletter. I put the whole thing into the email so you don't have to click around. That way, if you catch something while you're listening in the car, working out, on the podcast, or on YouTube, and you will go back and grab it, it's formatted nice and neat there. So just subscribe, mikekim.com/newsletter. And I hope to see you on the very next episode. All right. Be well. Till next time.